The Space-Time Traveler, Xeno Trunks. This card's actually surprisingly good for a strike character. He has a decent leader skill and pretty good link. I'd recommend you get him if you have shit tech units. Most def, 10 out of 10. And I never played Xenoverse. I know Xenoverse 2 is coming out. People are hyped for it. But I don't know how good of a game it is. It looks kind of cool. Actually has a unique DBZ story, which is kind of surprising to me because if you ever played the older DBZ games, they were always like straight up DBZ. Like they never strayed from DBZ. They never had like an original storyline really. At least what am I thinking of is Budokai 3 and DBZ Tenkaichi 2, Budokai Tenkaichi 2, which again I don't know if Xenoverse. I know it has fighting in it, but it doesn't look like an actual like straight up fighting game in the same vein as. Ah shit! I wish I could get 4. Fuck it. I'm probably gonna use a key item just to get the super because I want to seal this guy's super attack. He does do pretty good damage. He does about. I think he's always supers on the first turn. You're about to see he does about like 30k, and I'm blocking with an int unit. But yeah, I don't know if Xenoverse is a fighting game in the same way that Tenkaichi 2 was. What I mean by that is so many fighting games that come out now they have fighting in it, but it doesn't have like combos and actual skill and depth. Like if you played Ultimate Tenkaichi, which if you never played Tenkaichi 2, then you're probably gonna think maybe that game was alright. But I've played Tenkaichi 2. I know 3 is pretty good too. Ooh, shit, I actually got a card drop. 3 is pretty good too, but I played 2, and it actually had combos. You know, you actually had to have some type of level of skill. Whereas now, all of the newer Dragon Ball Z games, or at least from what I've seen after Raging Blast 2, because I know people say that Raging Blast 2 was like a pretty good fighting game, they've been like super dumbed down. Like I mentioned, Ultimate Tenkaichi, I actually was super fucking pissed when I got that game because I was assuming that it was going to be a straight up fighter, just like Tenkaichi, the older Tenkaichi series. But when I got it, I was absolutely bamboozled because I actually remember I told a friend, I was like, dude, Tenkaichi series, it's literally one of the best series ever. Like, you have to get this game. Like, it's amazing. And he's like, really? Is it that good? I'm like, dude, you gotta get this game. And I ended up inadvertently scheming the shit out of him because it was dog shit. Like, the way the game played was you press X, X, or Y, Y over and over again, and eventually you get to, instead of like saying Tenkaichi 2 where you could fling them and do a super attack or try to combo it or something of that matter, instead you have a weird system where you have to pick 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shit. Or actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is 6. Fuck. Where you have to pick X or Y. So say if you're doing the combo, you press X, 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 blah, blah, blah. Then you press X and your opponent presses Y. You win. It's like rock, paper, scissors. You win that guess. And then you get to continue pressing X, spamming it over and over again. And you just keep doing the combo. And then you keep doing that until you kill your opponent. Or if you press X and they press X, then they cancel it. Which is fucking retarded. I mean, as opposed to the Tenkaichi series of what it used to be, what actually used to be a good fucking fighting game. All of a sudden, they decided to just cuck everyone and like, yo, bro, take this dick, boy. You're gonna take this shit game. Like, I don't understand why they decided to take it in that direction. It really, I don't like. No one was like sick of the Tenkaichi series. Really, there was a petition I saw. It's not that many people, but it was a couple thousand that wanted an HD remake of the game. Which I'd be happy as shit if it came to like Xbox 360 or Xbox or PS3, even like the kind of newer consoles, because it is a bit of a grind, not a grind, but it is a bit choppy and kind of antiquated to play it on a PlayStation 2 at this point. But again, like I said, oh shit, I actually got another card drop. His rates are not that good. I'm surprised that I actually got 2 in a row. I don't know. I don't have a newer console, and I'm planning on buying a newer console just because there's really no games I want to play. If Xenoverse was anything like a Tenkaichi game, maybe I'd play it, but like I said, I think it's more of a straight up kind of RPG game. Like, from what I've seen, you don't even, like, in order to do a special attack, you have it equipped as like I don't know, almost like an item where you just flip up on your D-pad and use it, which is kind of cool. But it doesn't look like it's an actually in-depth fighter. Like I hope I'm getting my point across. I don't want all these fucking Xenoverse fanboys to come in here and tell me I'm a fucking asshole, which I am. But I basically just trying to say that it's I mean, it's not just Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is not the only kind of gaming franchise that has decided to like fuck their viewer base or their fans for some reason. I know the Naruto games are also like that. Naruto Ultimate Shitstorm 3 and 4 were actually pretty bad. I mean, they were okay. Like, I played it with friends. They're kind of fun. But if you played the earlier Naruto Ultimate Ninja series years ago, they were absolutely superior, not in characters, but in the gameplay. Like, Ultimate Ninja 1, 2, 3, I played the Japanese version, had a modded PS2, which was fun. That was a fucking good game. If you play that game, you'll know what I'm talking about. They actually have combos in the game. They actually have a skill-based system for substitution. And the way they have it now, if you play the new Naruto, is that actually Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, I think they actually had the old substitution jutsu where basically you like when someone's about to hit you, it's just like in Tenkaichi where you could like teleport right before someone if someone attacks you and you press left trigger at the same time, you teleport away. That's the same thing with the substitution jutsu where it's basically a counter. Like you have to be autistic though. You have to do it at the right time and you basically have unlimited, but the only stipulation is that you do have to do it at the right time. It's not random. And they changed that. They're like, nah, bro, we gotta make this more kid friendly. We gotta make this more retard friendly. We need to have it so that there's 5 bars or 4 bars, and that once you get rid of those bars, that's it. You can't do the substitution anymore, which actually ruined the game. Like the game used to be a lot more fun, in my opinion. It actually used to have a skill system with the substitution. Now you just spam it. Well, basically, if you ever play with people, it basically boils down to whoever presses left trigger like the most gets fucked the most. Like if you use the substitution jutsu over and over again and then you have 0 left, people just wail on you and destroy you. So basically what the game becomes is that you press YA, which basically allows you to do a charged chakra, kind of like a run towards your opponent. And then once you get there, you have to do the combo. And once you're done with the combo, you pray that they use their substitution and you block their attack. That way, they basically it's a game of who can get rid of the opponent's substitutions first, and then after that, you just nuke the shit out of them. Which I don't like that. It's fucking retarded. It basically creates pattern play. I mean, it's not as bad as Ultimate Tenkaichi was, where you have to fucking play rock paper scissors. I'm still fucking tight about that shit because I tried to do some research before I bought the game. Like I looked up IGN, and this is before I knew IGN was a bunch of fucking corporate shills that they grade based off of how much money they get. And they're like, yeah, Ultimate Tenkaichi, not that bad. Give it a 7 out of 8. And it's like, I know there's so many things in that game that people are so happy about, like creating your own character. They're like, yes, finally. Like they wanted that in Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3, but they never got it. But think about like what you got out of it. Like, you got an inferior game. You got a game that is not as good. And, for anyone that... Because I actually was so tight. I actually made a review myself. And actually, it kind of blew up, at least for the standards of what my channel used to be. And in the review, I basically say exactly what I say now. But people were so tight. They're like, bro, shut the fuck up. You don't know anything about... almost said Xenoverse Ultimate Tenkaichi. Just because the game's different doesn't mean it's bad. This, that, and the third. And people were tight. Like, I like Dragon Ball Z. I'm a pretty big fanboy. I'm playing this fucking game. Like, in order to play Dokkan Battle, you gotta be a pretty fucking big fanboy. And these guys were even bigger fanboys because they're like, bro, eat ass. This game is fucking good. And blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the third. And I'm like, dude, if you play Tenkaichi 3 or 2, and then you play Ultimate Tenkaichi, there's no way you can say that it's an improvement. It's an absolute devolvement from what the game could and should be, and it's a goddamn shame. Same thing goes for the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series. The Japanese version of the game, at least the early ones like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 5, I think 5 was the last one, was actually absolutely amazing, but then the Ultimate Storm series came out, And in the Storm series, literally all your combos is the B button. You press the B button, up B, down B, left B, that B. No more is it, triangle, square, circle, blah, 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 like a more traditional fighting game like a la Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. It's just, they fucking dumb the shit down to the point that you don't even want to play the game anymore. It's fucking retarded. But I think I've said my piece, and I think that everyone's going to tell me that Xenoverse and Ultimate Tenkaichi were amazing games. I don't know about Xenoverse. I know this is the 10th time I'm saying it, but I'll say it 11 times now. I have no clue how good Xenoverse is, and I have no clue if it's actually like a legit fighting game like Raging Blast or Tenkaichi. But what I do know is I definitely would recommend farming this handsome guy because his passive is surprisingly good. Key plus 2 and attack plus 1,000. And then his links, like I said, they're kind of lacking. Cold Judgment, the only person I have is Spycon. Messenger from the Future, I guess another Trunks. Rival Duo, I don't know why he has this, but Tien and Yamcha do. Patrol, Cuckboy Krillin has it, and a couple other people. Yeah, he doesn't have the best links. I think one of his best links is probably Bombardment in the sense that you can have all other characters, and maybe Xenoverse if you pulled off this banner. But all in all, like I said, he's a pretty good character. I mean, I'm farming him just to farm him, and he'll probably get a UR Awakening in the future. And if you do have that Phi Xenoverse Trunks, then you might as well just try to get into SA10. But all in all, he's pretty good, and he has Heat Dome attack, which is sexy. So, what else is there to say other than the fact that he's a handsome guy?